score from Finn Park. Finn Harps 2, Dundalk 2. A pulsating match in Finn Park and under the floodlights tonight. Thought both teams played really well. Tundy took his 2 goals brilliantly. Duffy scored a wonder free kick and Hoban got a penalty. Harps thought they started off pretty poorly in the first half. Dundalk controlled the most of the game up to the 90th minute whenever Tundy got the first goal. After we scored the first, we came to it more. At the half time we should have done 2-0. Tundy missed a golden chance from 6 yards out. We had her over the bar. Thought the second half, Harps didn't come out of blocks at all. Dundalk scored 2 quick goals in succession. One was a masterful free kick by Duffy, who just seems to score against us all the time with free kicks, and Hoban as well with penalty. Thought after we went 2-1 down, thought we were very dejected, but the crowd got behind the boys and Tundy came up wonders again with a wonderful goal, a wonderful play by Barry McNamee, who set up. He got the man of the match tonight, Barry McNamee, and just goes to show what a wonderful performance when Tundy didn't get the man of the match. Thought a point was well deserved for both sides. That's now Harps level down Drogheda, who were meant to play next weekend, but the game has been postponed due to international call-ups. Big game now in Showgrounds tonight for Sligo against Waterford. I'll keep a good eye on that because that's Harps' next game is away in Waterford, which will be a real 6-pointer. Wonderful performance by the lads from start to finish. Great atmosphere, great moment to be at the game, and all I can say is up the Harps.
Hi guys, just back from Ballybuffet there. We're finished Dundalk 2, Finn Harps 2. Interesting game. A lot happened, especially early in the second half. But the first half I thought Dundalk started off the better team anyways. Moving forward, we pressed well, we done well I thought. Just couldn't get the final save, the shots of goal really, and then Finn Harps came up the field and took a chance and 1-0 bang. Then the half just played out really. That's all you can really say about it. McNamee put Dundalk under pressure a lot of the time. I thought he had a very good game. He ended up getting man of the match and it was well deserved, so it was. But moving into the second half then, Dundalk started off lively again, managing to get themselves a free kick in a very good position, and fantastic ball in from Duffy and straight into that bottom corner. It was brilliant. But it was actually a fantastic goal. If you haven't seen it, lads, please go watch it. So you'll find it somewhere on YouTube. It was a great goal. And then straight away, I didn't even see what happened. I was still celebrating the goal. Hoban is taking the penalty. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, where'd that come from? I was still jumping around with the lads going mad. But Hoban put it away, 2-1 up in the space of 2 minutes. It was absolutely fantastic scenes. And then a couple of minutes later, of course, because it is Dundalk and it is this season, it went to 2-2. That's exactly how it remained. But yeah, that sums up Dundalk's season, so it does in a nutshell. Doing a lot of things right, but not finishing things off. We just had no one in there. Like I did notice we're missing players, like a player like Chris Shields. We still are. We haven't replaced them, and it's showing in games like that. We don't have a real, we have Andy Boyle and Pat Hogan. You can say we have leaders, but we need a real leader in that midfield to hold it together. But Shamrock Rovers next on Friday night, and that's going to be interesting. But at least it's in Oriel, so the crowd should get behind us again and hopefully push us on and get another 3 points, or at least a point. Mondown.
Alright folks, just a wee round up on tonight's game between Shamrock Rovers and Derry City at Tallaght Stadium. Derry started brightly, took the lead through Danny Lafferty, a great ball in by Jack Malone from a free kick that was won by Jimmy McGonigal, and Danny at the back post powered the header beyond Alan Manis. Derry had a chance to make it 2 not long after. A snapshot from edge of box was brilliantly saved by Manis, who quickly got up the Gower before Junior could react to turn it home. After that, Rovers came in to put Derry under a bit of pressure, a few balls in the box, which Derry dealt with until around the 19th minute when a great ball in by Ronan Finn was met superbly by Lee Grace, a great header beyond Gardside who stood no chance. the first half stream was hard to watch, so it's hard to tell how the game went beyond that. But Rovers eventually took the lead just before half time, and Danny Mandrew found space inside the box to fire beyond Gertside. The second half of the stream was a lot better, so we were able to watch it and analyse it a bit better. Derry came out, started brightly, similar to what Rovers did before they got the equaliser. Put a few crosses in the box and a few chances. A great chance at the back post, which was headed wide from a corner. Just the corner came from a great ball in from another free kick, which Rovers managed to turn behind. After that, Rovers showed their experience. They managed the game brilliantly. Derry didn't have a lot to offer. The chances that were coming were few and far between, but they were all Rovers. Gertside made a good save to deny Gaffney. I think near the end was Aaron Green was in on goal and was brilliantly blocked by I think it was Owen Toll, who just continues to show what he's made of, whether it's in a win, a defeat or a draw. He just puts his body on the line, as do all the Derry players, but Owen Toll just shows pure leadership, captain's performance. But look, we weren't expected to win this. We weren't expected to get a draw. So not too disappointed. Still plenty of football to be played between now and the end of the season. We go again next week against Waterford. So hopefully we can respond with a win down there. And then it's St. Pat's the following week at the Brandywell, which if we can get a big win next week, maybe get a big crowd at the Brandywell for Pats the week after, and just keep plugging away and see what we can get out of this season. But so far it's been a good response to Rory Higgins as manager, and everything's looking up. So we just have to keep plugging away and see what we can get. Thank you.
So after a really eventful night, Shelbourne have secured promotion to the Premier Division and the First Division title for the 2021 season after a 1-0 win at home in Tulka Park to Treaty United. It was quite the game. It was hard fought, dogged. I think both teams are going into the game now with, I think, not conceding goal in the last 3. So it's been you knew it wasn't going to be a high scoring game. A Treaty, for a club that's only formed formed last year, but this is their first season. They're so well organised, really well organised. They knew Shelbourne's strengths going into the game, and they did everything to minimise that. Shells were the better and did have the better of the chances early on, and to be honest, a massive claim for a penalty. I can't see how it wasn't given. I've looked back on it. It was Stonewall, but listen, you get some, you don't get others. That's the game. Another time, Shelbourne crossed in and the ball from a corner, and it ended up in the net. There was celebrations. We thought this was it, but the ref ruled it out. I think he said the keeper was impeached. So that was a shame. You were kind of thinking, is this going to be Shell's night? Is it going to go to another game where they may have to do it? But no, they stuck at it, played the better. And then in the 75th minute, Shane Farrell was taken down at the edge of the box to give Shelbourne a penalty. Nervy for anyone to take that, but Georgie Poynton stepped up. He was the man. He obviously felt like, I've got the nerve for this, and boy did he. I mean, he hit that ball straight into the top right hand corner. Keeper was rooted to the middle of the goal. Jubilation. Longest then 15 minutes of my life for Shells to see this out, but they did, and they did it well. They still pushed. They didn't do this because they knew they had it's different if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 minutes on the clock. You tend to sit. When you've got 15 minutes plus another 5 for added on, that's a lot of time to sit. You can't do it. So I think Shells did really well in trying to, be cautious, but they weren't afraid to let's try and get another counter, still playing the wings, and it was the right decision to do, because even in that last 15-20 minutes, Treaty didn't really have any chances that were going to turn into goals. But look, that's only the minor story. The real story is Shells are back in the Premier Division. It's absolutely fantastic after the heartbreak of last season. Very, very hard pill to swallow with finally getting promoted then in 2019, to have fans taken out of the games that we've waited so many years to go see, to go to Inchicore, to go to Dalymount, to go to Tala, all these games that you want to see. This is the football in our country. This is what we love. It's for those games. And to not have that opportunity when we really thought we were, and then to go down with half a season, it was hard. It was a hard pill to swallow. There was real fears that this was going to be something where we would be in the first division for another 3-4 years, but on the first time trying, and to do it so commandingly. I think this is one of the strongest first division teams that the League of Ireland has probably seen in recent times. It was done right, it was done well. Well deserved. So looking forward to what the future holds for Shelbourne. It's exciting, and so Shelbourne 2021's First Division champions.
How are you all? Just walking back now from the Drogheda game. That was an absolute joke of a game. A last minute win off a patch there from Matthew Lewis. When can we start taking our chances against these teams? Because that's not going to help us now going into the next 7 games of the season. We need to start shooting. We need to start taking chances to get the keeper, because if we don't start getting chances, that's the reason pretty much why we're losing games where we are now. We don't start taking the chances, we're going to be in trouble. It's just an absolute disgrace that. I'm just annoyed with that result tonight. First half, second half, there's nothing there for us. No chance. We didn't make anything at all. Obviously, we had a few crosses in, gone towards the keeper, Yaros, and they were the better team and had the chances. And I think, to be fair, they actually deserved the win tonight. There's no doubt about that. So, an absolute joke. Obviously, Finn Harps is counting next week with the internationals, but look, it's just an absolute joke. To be fair, it's just very annoying that he fair tonight. It's just we need to start getting the goals in, because if we're not, then we're going to be in huge trouble. Finn Harps beat Dundalk 2. No, sorry, Finn Harps drawn with Dundalk 2-2 tonight, which doesn't help us either, because now only Dundalk only 2 points behind, and Finn Harps are level with us in points. So we need to start getting the results on the board. But it's just thankfully the week off will help us now. We can just focus on Longford at home. That'll be a good game for us there. I think we could obviously get a win out of that. Obviously Longford being 10, so looking forward to it.
Hi lads, this week I'm not going to go on too long, as it wasn't a huge eventful game. So it finished 1-0 Shelbourne, and that means they've gone up to win the league, and no spoilers this time from Treaty, which we were kind of hoping to do. If Athlone had lost and we had won, we would have gone up to the playoffs, which would have been good, but I'm just hoping that we've a tough run of fixtures going into the last couple of games. We've Wexford, Athlone, Cabinteely, or sorry, not Wexford, UCD, Athlone, Cabinteely. In my opinion, they're tough because we're yet to beat Cabinteely, and UCD, even though they lost tonight, have a bit of form in them. And Athlone won tonight also. The game itself there wasn't too much of an eventful evening. For the goal, it was a penalty from Georgie Poynton for Shelbourne, and what happened really was Charlie Fleming was trying to be a bit too casual in the corner and tried to flick it over one of the Shells players' heads, but came back to the Shells player, and they eventually got fouled in the box. Would have loved to be up there, but couldn't get up there this evening because we couldn't get tickets. That's no one's fault. I'd be raging if it was Treaty situation and we were about to win the league, and what did happen. If people were to miss out in these situations, and it's completely understandable. So, so there's not too much on to talk about this week.
Hey guys, just finishing Carlow grounds. Another draw for Bray. Another draw this season against Cork. So that's 3 games against Cork this season and 3 draws. 0-0 earlier on the season, 2-2 in Turner's Cross, and 0-0 again tonight. A game probably neither side deserved to win. You could see there was no penetration from either side. A good first half. But Keane Murphy really should have opened the scoring for Cork on the half hour. The ball's played over the top. He went 1-on-1 with Brian Maher, and it probably shows why Brian won't be at Bray next season. And a lot of Premier Division teams will actually come looking for Brian. He pulled off a magnificent save to tip the ball over the bar. So it went 0-0 at the break. Neither side came out fighting in the second half. It was, I have to say, the refereeing performance, and I know the referees have been slated all season, but this guy was absolutely disgraceful for both sides. He booked a few Cork City players in the first half, and they didn't deserve to be booked. He made some really weird decisions. But I'm not sure what score the Athlone game was as I'm doing this video, but it was 1-1 last scene. So if it stays like that, they stay within 8 points of Bray. I think Cork are further 2 points back on 10 points back. So looking good for Bray for the playoff. However, Bray will not go any further in the playoffs if they perform like they performed tonight. Didn't really threaten Harrington to go. There's a few half chances for Bray, a few half chances for Cork as well, but and I'm not going to say it was a bore draw, because it was exciting in the first half. Second half not so much, but anyway, final score: Bray Wanderers 0, Cork City 0.